The Air Max 1. Potentially one of the most iconic shoes in all of shoe history. Actually, I do think that's true, but this is the first pair of Air Max 1s that I've ever bought, and yeah, so it actually took me a while to get to this point. I was not all that stoked about Air Max 1s. I personally, and I know there's going to be a lot of OGs out there who are going to be like, ah, man, Tim, what are you doing, man? I like Air Max 90s, and you know what? I think that the Air Max 1 and the Air Max 90, I think they look similar enough to where I just wasn't really thinking about buying Air Max 1s. So, naturally, I had not bought any Air Max 1s until this shoe came out, because this is a shoe that really speaks to me. My favorite color is green. My favorite drink is margaritas. So naturally, when Nike came out with a LIMEADE colorway on an Air Max 1, this guy was pretty excited. And I will say, there's a lot of different hints, there's a lot of things to this shoe that really make the shoe. First and foremost, you've got a lime. You've got a lime with the Nike symbol right there on the tongue. Another thing that really makes this shoe great is the different sets of laces. This is not just any Air Max 1, this is an Air Max 1 Premium in the LIMEADE colorway. This shoe came with 4 sets of laces. Absolutely stunning. Personally, my favorite thing about this shoe is just the little accents on it. I thought that the bubble air logo running throughout the upper was absolutely awesome. I thought that the 3D air logo here on the back in that multicolored sort of fashion was also stunning. And I would just say that I really liked the limes on the inside of the sneaker. The limes, really nice touch. You know, for me, I personally would have liked to see maybe more of a yellow sole here, but that's just kind of my own take on things. I did notice that in the air bubbles, they had the same color as they put on the laces here. They've got 3 extra sets of laces. They've got a white set, they've got a green set, and then they've got a green and the white set. My personal favorite on here though is just the yellow. I think the yellow really gives it a nice hint of that limeade flavor when you're wearing the shoe. Another thing that really makes this shoe stand out to me is my favorite color on the color spectrum is green. Every time Nike does a great job with a green shoe, I'm impressed. Now what I do have to say about this shoe that actually might be a little bit of a negative is I've been seeing a lot of people post on Instagram and other people post on YouTube that the Air logo was printed on the leather on the upper. And because it was printed on, I noticed in a lot of other people's pairs that printing has started to crack off. So you're getting these cracks on the Air logo in the upper. I think maybe that's because people are wearing them really heavily and doing quite a bit in them, but still that is a bit of a discouraging thing for me. I think what is going to end up happening is I'll probably crack these out maybe 3 or 4 times a year, put them on the shelf, and then as soon as that cracking starts to happen, I think I'm probably going to shelf them permanently at that point. Just because I think a shoe like this has iconic value. Actually, scary enough, there's even some cracking here that I'm getting. So yeah, I was not expecting it to be that easy. Yeah, I'm getting some cracking right here. So yeah, I will say that the shoe, absolutely awesome colorway. I was about to give this shoe a 10 out of 10. I think now that I know that it's cracking a little bit, I'm gonna go down a few points just as far as quality and materials go. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this shoe a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think as far as quality control issues, I wish that Nike would have done a slightly better job as far as that went. Whenever you have a shoe this clean, you really want this shoe to sort of last a long time, and I really am disappointed with the quality of materials up here on the upper with the Air logo being printed on the upper. That is somewhat of a downside. Besides that, I think the quality of materials was pretty good. I just wanted to maybe say to Nike personally, please, next time you do a release like this, really think about the materials that are going into the shoe. I actually got cracking on different parts of the shoe, so I'm now that I see the cracking is really becoming a problem, I'm really more nervous to wear this shoe, and to me that's kind of a downside because this is a shoe that I was absolutely excited about wearing. Well, if the cracking doesn't get better on the shoe, I'm probably gonna have to put it up on my shelf, and you know, that is a little bit disappointing to me. I was excited to get a pair of Air Max 1s to wear. If the cracking gets much worse on this, I'm probably gonna have to buy a different pair of Air Max 1s just to wear around, because I really like the logo on here and I want to keep the shoe for the most part pretty fresh. It's looking like the cracking is actually starting to become a pretty big problem. So, you know, and this is me after wearing this shoe one day. I've worn this shoe for one day and the cracking has already started to become a problem. I'm a bit let down about that. I think this was one of my favorite releases of the year, and so seeing that the quality of materials is really not what it should be is, I don't know, it's pretty disappointing for me personally. As far as like what I'm rating this shoe out of 10 for just the colorway in general, excluding my opinion on the quality materials, I think the shoe is absolutely stunning. I'm gonna give this shoe a 10 out of 10 as far as the logo goes, the style, the accents. I thought it was absolutely wonderful that they put limes on the tongue, lime on the insole. However, just the fact that the quality materials is not there, and the fact that I can already tell that this shoe is not going to hold up as I wear it over time, that to me is a pretty big problem. And I would like Nike to address that problem with shoes like this in the future. The fact that it's cracking after one time of wearing, I think, is something that really takes away from the shoe for me. You know, I actually do think I'm going to have to shelf these pretty soon. I've got cracks here. I've got cracks here. So yeah, I will say I'm a little bit let down by that. I think that the materials were probably a little bit cheaper than usual. So that is definitely a letdown. You know, this shoe is probably not nearly as bad as the other one. I'm gonna check the other one right here to see what that one looks like. Yeah, even on this one is much worse than the other. I've got a big crack going on here. And this is really after just one day of wearing. I got a little crack going down here too.